Hi, I have just been to the hospital again, and it is July the 4th, 2023, so it's a much celebration in United States, so I am not thinking that there will be many listeners from United States today, but later on, of course. I was in United States in the 4th July 2002. And my daughter came and visited me that summer, and she was with me in July 4th. And we didn't have any money. I could rent a small house, like a garage thing, when she was visiting me. But I lost the house just the day I come back from the airport and my daughter have left United States, and I didn't have any money to could pay the rent. And my daughter had with her much money because her father is very wealthy, so she had much money. So I feel guilty for it, but I had to take her money to pay the rent, or else she could have not been in a house. We had to be in a homeless shelter, and I think she couldn't take that because she is used to have a fancy house in her father's house where she lived. So I had to take her money that she should spend on some things for her in the United States. But it was for her. I could stay in a homeless shelter, but not she. So I could pay the rent for 1 month for her to stay there. And we sit at the porch outside the little home, and I have on the right side in the other neighbor's property some people with money, a stable's money income. It was all the couple there, black people, and they did a barbecue, and we sit and look at them because there were no fireworks going on, because I live in a very poor area, so there was not much going on there. We could see later on in the evening, we could see far away. I live in Portsmouth in Virginia, United States. You could see in the downtown that there were fireworks, but not in our area because it was a poor area. And I was one of the few white people there in that area, and they have bought, the old couple have bought, or they have got in gift, a big barbecue grill pit, and it was beautiful, very nice barbecue grill. And one of their, I suppose, son was out there, 2 meter high, son, 6 feet high son. He was there and should do the barbecue and fire up it, but it didn't get so much fire. And so he come out and spray on the fire to get it going, but it didn't. So he threw down the whole spray can into the barbecue pit, and then it was a lid to lock it in the steak, or what you do on the barbecue. So he closed the lid with a spray can inside, and I say to my daughter, now we will see what will happen if it's be a firework here at the neighbor's place. And it took a little while, but suddenly it blew up. The whole lid come up in the air, and everything was like a ball of fire. And he was lucky that he didn't get any fire on him. He could jump on the side of the barbecue pit, so he didn't got anything. He could have been in a real bad accident there. But it was like a pillar going straight up in the air. So it was not on the side where he was standing. And then after the beautiful, nice new barbecue pit was total black and a wreck. So they threw it away and had to do what they should do on the stove inside in the kitchen in the home. But it was a really special thing for us to see, because we have nothing really to do, but we knew it was the 4th of July, and people have celebrated, but we had no one that invite us for that. So we sit only and look around, and it was a beautiful day. It was not a cloud in the sky. My neighbors did a cloud, but it was a blue sky that day. And so I remember the 4th of July in that way. And to you that is in the United States, I say happy 4th July, even if you don't listen at this chapter in the 4th of July. So I was yesterday to the hospital, and it was very bad day, because they told me that all the ambulance was gone outside and on some job, and it should be taken for a long time to get an ambulance. So they told me that they should call for the taxi because I could sit up in a taxi. So I got it after a half hour came the taxi. So even the taxi was late. So many had taken taxi instead of ambulance. And when I come into the hospital, it was a mess. All the beds was occupied. So it was not only me. We were about 10 people that sit in that waiting room where I sat, and we sit there for many hours, and no one was coming and call for us to meet a nurse or a doctor. We only sit there, and it was very nice, even if we sit at the hospital, because we were talking to each other. We were not shy like normal. We sit and talk about many things in life, and I am a social person. I talk very much, I am a ordained pastor, and I work with people also in my life, so I'm not scared to talk. And I think I was almost the one that was talking most, and I talk so people in the waiting room was laughing what I was saying, things. So I think I opened up the people that sit there so we could talk. And I was sitting 11 hours on the chair, and in the end of after about 8 hours, my brain was very tired, and I was scared to go to the bathroom. So I have to ask for a wheelchair, but they didn't have any wheelchair, so I got like a wheelchair, but to take a shower, and it was very hard to sit on. So I was waiting. They left me in the bathroom and say I could call on the clock to get them to come and get me, but they didn't come. But it was another person that come, and I didn't say to her that I should go back to with a shower wheelchair. I preferred to walk, and I could walk because it was like the sleep I had in my brain did go away after a while. I maybe fall to sleep without to notice that, because I was okay in the brain when we walk back. And I say to those my temporary friends in the waiting room that I was prepared to sleep in the bathroom. And they knew what I was talking about, as there was no one coming and talk to us for many hours. But I got, it was when they changed the team, the doctor team. So new doctors came and start to work. Then a doctor come to me and wanted to talk, and I got a bed to lay in, and he looked at my leg, and he said to me that you wondering why I was to the hospital in the emergency room. It was because the antibiotica I got to take for 1 week, it didn't work. It worked a little, so I was not so thick in my leg, but it was red, still red, the leg. And you have seen it in the picture, how it looked like, and it looked exactly the same yesterday. So he said that the pyramids about the progress about my inflammation in my leg, it was very good, he say, and it was like he ended the whole thing, but I couldn't let him go away with that I was okay and I could go home again. I said to him that I have like a big rock behind my leg. It's have not softening, and in that part where I was sick, it was still warm. I told him, and I'd be so angry about these Swedish doctors today, that they try to lie. He was lying to me because it was no, I can't that word. It was with visual. It was, you could tell that the leg was not good. But he say that the medicine have worked that I got the first time I was in the hospital. So I told him that the leg is still like a stone. It have not softened. So there's lots of inflammation in it still, I said to him. So he took the leg and squeeze it and look at it, and then he say, I'm coming back to you. I'm going to call a college and another doctor to ask what he should do. So he come back after a half hour, and he said that I get the same medicine 1 week more. So I really hope it's working with 1 week more. And as I told you, that the medicine I got, it was so much antibiotica that the pharmacy didn't want to give it out to me. So the pharmacy called the doctor and asked why she had given me so much antibiotica. And then the doctor told her. So I got much more than normal. I got 2 sorts of antibiotica. And now I have the same antibiotica again. And I hope it's bad weather today. But I hope it's not raining when I take my scooter and travel to the pharmacy. that is in the grocery store that I normally buy inside that grocery store. So it's the same road like normally I do when I buy things. And so as I was to the hospital, I didn't take the medicine because they did some test. So I should not take the medicine before the test. So I should take 3 times a day this medicine, but yesterday it only become two times because I was 11 hours in the hospital. And then I fall to sleep, and then in the night I wake up and remember that I should take my insulin also. So I did to 3 o'clock in the night. And tomorrow am I going to the skin doctor and get my injection for psoriasis. And I don't know if I can take that when I have antibiotica inside me. So I'm going to ask that to the hospital if I can take the injection tomorrow, or I have to wait until I have taken all the antibiotics. So it's 3 months between the injections, and it should be almost the same day all the time. So I need to ask what to do. And so it's still going on, this war. You maybe not remember, or you have not listened at that chapter when heaven told me this about the real vision, dream I had, that I was standing inside a house, and it was a house on the side of it also, and I find myself standing between these 2 houses, and then suddenly it come out on the roof on the other house where I didn't live, people running over the roof, and then I understood it was a prison. So criminal, evil people was running over the roof to run away from prison. And suddenly it was a man looking down at me, as I didn't have any roof over me because I was between those 2 houses. So it was air. I was standing in the air. And he had a gun in his hand. And he started to wanted to kill me, shoot me with the gun. And someone on the side of me stopped him from killing me. But today I'm wondering if it was like a temporary. Who is going to win? Is this man that looked down on me and had a gun in his hand going to kill me? or is it the one that was on my side that just temporarily cover me if it's fast enough covering me to not be killed? That is, I'm still in that situation. I understood it from the beginning, that it was between good and evil, a war, and that is not my war. It's a war between these worlds that we can't see. I have seen it only a few times, but I can never do anything about those worlds because it's a spirit world, and I am not inside the spirit world. I can only rely on it. I can only ask them to help me, those that is good. And so it's still going on because I am not okay. I got, in the night when I had this vision dream, in the morning when I wake up I have to call for the ambulance because I was going sick in my leg. So it started with that vision dream, and it's still going on. And they say, yesterday the doctors say to me that they did 5 pipes of blood on me to test, and he say, you have lots of blood sugar. He say to me like it was my fault. It's so crazy because the doctors think that is an ordinary diabetes I have, number 2, and it isn't. And I tell them that my pancreas is going down to death, and that give me no insulin from the pancreas. So that's why I get so much sugar in my blood. It have nothing with my what I eat. It have with my organs to do. And they still is saying it's because of what I eat, and I have taken away most everything. I eat very, very, very little food now, and not I eat 1 ice cream maybe every second day. That's the only sugar I take, and sugar is okay if it's only little, because it's energy also for the body, but not much, but little is okay to take, and like a teaspoon like that, and so he that's what he said to me, but he say at least that he should write my doctor at my health clinic, and my doctor have already got from the first time I was laying 3 days in the hospital because of this leg, that about the sugar, and they say that I should take 7 days test to eat my ordinary food, and then measure it with the blood sugar sticks, and see how much I have for every dinner I take. And I have done that. My diabetes nurse have told me to do that 3 days to measure everything what I eat. But I maybe need to do it 7 days again. And it's like they doesn't want to look and understand this with pancreas. That I have a pancreas that is almost dead. And I eat the enzymes for to digest what I eat. And now when it's so very bad with blood sugar, I take these enzymes to digest food every time I eat. I have not done that before. I have only taken them to my medicine in the morning for to digest them so they're not going out without working in my body. So I am going to ask my doctor in a health clinic that to make me could go to another hospital that is one of the leading hospital in Sweden, to make them look at me. I hope when he got 2 mails from the emergency room about my blood sugar is too high, then I hope he go angry at them and want to send me to this hospital that is more specialist for pancreas. And then the worst things now, what can happen because I have too high blood sugar is that my kidneys fail now. And then it's going down with the organs, where all the other organs is going away. So I need to drink very much water for the kidneys to could take away the sugar. And the blood sugar I have, it causes this with the leg also, the inflammation. The inflammation get energy from the sugar in the blood. So I need to, I take, the doctor have not told me it, but I take insulin. The doctor has said that I should take my insulin before I go to bed. I do that, and then I take a little at lunchtime, not much, about, I think I take 15 of the against blood sugar, insulin, a little, so it take away some of it. And I need more insulin, but it's not good to take too much insulin, because that really take away everything that the pancreas can give me also. So they have not done measure my pancreas now for 1 year, and when I do this with the skin, I get the injection for the psoriasis, I'm going to talk to the nurse about it. The nurse that gave me the injection, that they need to look at my pancreas. I really got it, or else I have to talk to those in the area of my hospital that have with pancreas to do. That is the area of surgery. They look at it, the surgery, and I need to make them scan my pancreas now to see if it have going worse, or what is the problem with it. Something have happened, and you know that I'm not worried about to die, because I have been up to heaven and know what is there in heaven, and that my real family is waiting for me there. I am here on earth for the 7th time, and I will not coming back. I tell God that this time, the 7th time I was here, was like to live in hell. My life have been very good. It's not about that, but it have been a real struggle with all this poison, all these evil things that was in my life. I am okay in myself in that way. I don't want to have pain, suffering, like very hard. I have asked God many times to only go over in my sleep. Only suddenly I go to bed, and then suddenly I am in heaven. I ask for that, but I don't want to die in pain. So somewhere else, I'm good to lay in the hospital and die. But I should not want to lay on the street, in the corner in the street, and die like that, and have much pain. That's the only one thing I worried about. But I'm not worried about death, because I know where I'm going. And I will ask to not go back for the 8th time. And I think I am done with my coming back to earth now, because I was in Jerusalem for the 4th time. And you know, it have started more and more be war in Israel. I don't think, I'm not a political person, but I see the sign of that Palestinian people, not everyone, but those that is against Israel, that they coming and want to take over Palestine, they are going to fight back, and they are not going to fight back in the same way that they have done before, and those rocket launch they do to over Israel, it stop. Technical Israel can stop most of them to reach in Jerusalem, and they stopped them. So they know, these people in Palestine, it's not the way to do it, because they expect it in Israel's army that they are going to have rocket launch shooting to Israel, so they know it, but they are going to do something unexpected. In some way they are going to do, and it's going to be total war in Israel. This is not what I heard, but this is the sign of it. And they told me in Jerusalem in December when I was there. I was at a hotel where most people were from Arabic countries, most from Palestine, and they told me that Iran, the country Iran, want to take over Israel. So I believe in that they told me from heaven through other people here on earth that Iran going to do something against Israel very soon. And you know that they in heaven told me that this will be the peak. Now, this year will be a peak of ending the fight. Who is going to win? We don't know. I don't know, but those in heaven maybe know it. And it's the same with the war inside my body. I don't know how it's going to end. I only know it's a war going on inside the body, and then in the spirit world. And that's what it is today around the world. Also, it's very much war going on. And this with Israel, they say in the news this morning that it's 20 years since it was so very much Israel military against Palestine. It's 20 years since it was so much going on. And it will trigger more to come. I don't know what it is, but it's a thought that they say that in Jerusalem, December 2022, that Iran is going to do something with Israel. I don't know if it's true, but it's a hint what will be. And that's why I was to Israel for the 4th time. And I don't talk about me be so important, but some of it was that I tried to get help at the hospital in Jerusalem because of this pancreas, and they didn't want to help me. I don't say that is very important, but it can be one of the things God is angry now at Israel. It's not God's country, and it have never been a country, because I have told you about Jacob, that is a person, is what's inside a person, that is the Israel. It's not a country, it's people. What they have in their heart, that's Israel. It's not a country. So Israel have not been God's people. It is the people that have Jacob's heart. You know, he fight against the evil thing, and it struck him on his hip and took it out from the joint. And so that is the true Israel. It's not the country, because a country is, you know, it's so many people in Israel. It's Armenic people, it's Jewish people, it's Christian people, it's Muslim people, and much more. So it's not that country that hold all these people. So this is what I wanted to tell you about, and I place a warning again to be prepared, both mentally and in what you have inside your home, in food and water and these things, because it's a trigger, many triggers going on that can make your life very terrible if you are not prepared mentally about it, and have things in your home that you can last for a time, a long time. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.